Hello, friends. Wild animals live freely in nature, but the likelihood of them facing danger is very high. Should we, humans, help animals, or should we let nature take its course and refrain from interfering? And if a person does decide to help, thus putting themselves in even greater danger, does it make them a fool or a hero? This interesting incident took place in the Khao Kiu Open Zoo in the Sriracha district, Chonburi province, Thailand. A zoo visitor saw a python trying to have dinner and destroyed its plans. The video shows the python trying to swallow a spotted deer. Before the snake could finish its kill, the man hit it with a stick and forced it to release the prey. The rescued deer ran away into the forest. Social media users were divided over the propriety of the man's actions. Some believe that it's natural for animals to eat other animals and humans shouldn't interfere. Others believe that saving a life is the right thing to do anyway. And our next story took place in northeastern India, in the Nangaon district of Assam state. There's a road passing through the forest that goes by the swamps, which the local population takes every day when going about their business. And they all know very well that they shouldn't turn towards the swamps because there's a dangerous quagmire there, which they might not be able to get out of. On October 14, 2020, a group of men were passing by the swamps when suddenly they heard something that sounded like a squeak or a cry. There was a small deer desperately fighting for its life. The fawn was trapped in the shallow water, unable to climb ashore. One of the men rushed to the animal's aid without hesitation. However, there was a high likelihood that the man himself could die trying to save the deer, especially since he had no equipment to help him get out. The brave man's name was Sanjeev. This heartwarming scene of a man risking his life to save a deer was filmed by the other men, who were watching things unfold from the riverbank. Sanjeev lifted the 15-kilo ungulate onto his shoulders and tried to get to the riverbank with the animal. But that wasn't an easy task, and he did fall into the thick mud several times before finally tenderly placing the deer on dry land. The deer was very tired and was not able to stand on his legs, said Sanjeev. I put him in the sunlight and massaged his legs, and then slowly he started standing on his legs, Sanjeev said. He then carried the deer into the forest. When I left him, the deer was turning and looking at me, and I got tears in my eyes, Sanjeev said. I said bye-bye to him and left, he concluded. The animal from the next episode was also very lucky to have people nearby. Rescuers accidentally found a wild horse in her fowl in trouble. It hardly seems possible, but the horse got her rear hoof entangled in her mane, and from the looks of it, it happened a while ago. The horse looked exhausted, but she couldn't regain her balance to stand up and kept falling down. The rescuers helped by cutting her leg free. Meanwhile, the fowl was running around its mother, not leaving her side for a second. When the rescue horse finally managed to get up, she walked away with her fowl. This horse was lucky that she was noticed in time. And our next story will definitely amuse you. A little duckling got entangled in fishing line that was wound on branches. As soon as the man climbed into the water to untangle and rescue the duckling, the duck mother immediately rushed to the duckling's defense. She attacked the man as best she could, so much so that the man was even scared to approach her baby. But at some point, the duck swam away, and the rescuer managed to untangle the duckling, who immediately swam to its relatives. This episode is about an elk and its hooves. The first thing that people noticed were the two hooves sticking out of the fence. The little elk got itself in a very awkward and unpleasant situation. Apparently, it tried to jump over the fence, but it couldn't jump high enough. Just look at those frightened eyes. People quickly freed the poor fellow. But the animal was in no hurry to escape. It stood there for a few more minutes and then slowly ran into the forest. And now we'll show you some great shark rescues. Here you see how a rather large shark was washed ashore. The bravest person rushed to help, but the waves kept pushing the shark back all the time. The shark was exhausted. But fortunately, people didn't leave the animal in trouble, and together they managed to point the shark in the right direction, and it slowly swam away. And this one is the most dangerous shark, the white shark. It got washed ashore during high tide. Dozens of people took part in the rescue. They dug a canal in the sand, and together they pulled the predator into the water. So this story has a happy ending. Here's another deer that got into trouble. During the expansion of the reservoir, the excavator worker noticed that a deer was stuck in a swamp and couldn't move. This video proves how great this man is at his job. He carefully loaded the animal into the excavator bucket and moved it to firm ground. The rescue was successful and the little deer walked away unharmed. And here's another unfortunate deer. This one fell into a pool and couldn't get out on its own. At first, the rescuers thought that it might be completely frozen, but as soon as it was pulled out of the water, it ran into the forest, jumping. We all know that ocean waters are heavily polluted with various debris, old fishing nets, plastic, and other industrial waste, which is undoubtedly a threat to the animals. Here's how the lifeguards catch and free the seals that got entangled in a fishing net. They can't untangle themselves on their own. Moreover, the line cuts through the skin over time, creating wounds that get infected, causing the animal to die. It's good that there are rescuers and caring people in this world. And this happened in India. The video shows a small wild boar that fell into a deep well. The villagers reported this to the nature conservation inspector, and a group of specialists arrived at the scene. Subsequently, the little boar was successfully rescued and released into the jungle. And this incident, involving wild boars, happened in Turkey. Several large boars fell into a concrete canal filled with water. The locals didn't leave the animals in trouble and pulled them out of the water. And this fowl was noticed on the road. It somehow jumped over the metal road fence, but couldn't get back. Some people couldn't just drive by and not help this poor fellow. This man successfully carried the fowl over to the other side of the fence, where its mother and other horses were waiting for him. And that's all for today, friends. What would you do if you saw an animal in distress? Write your comments below the video. Like the video and don't forget to share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.